Hello there. Tomorrow I'm lighting a charity dance show in a fairly large venue. I'm the lighting designer, lighting programmer and lighting operator for this gig, and I went to a rehearsal last Sunday to have a look and create a bit of a lighting design and cue list. The show is being directed by an ex-Royal Ballet dancer, and he's a fantastic choreographer. Tomorrow when I get into the venue I won't have a huge amount of time to program. I want to get it done in the morning before the dress run in the afternoon, where I might make some tweaks, and then I'll have the performance in the evening. I'm going to get some really nice kit to play with. I'm having access to 12 clay Paky Mythos 2s and some Robé wash lights. We're also hopefully having a hazer and a low-lying fog effect. So those moving heads are part of the in-house lighting stock, which is pretty good. Only issue is the lighting desk, and although the venue has a good lighting desk, I'm not familiar with it and it's not appropriate for how I want to design the show. So I've had to make other arrangements. When choosing a lighting desk for this show, I thought I'm going to need something that's good at cue listing, but I'm also going to want something that can maybe busk in case I run out of time to program lots of effects, or I want to get some things in time with the music, and the quickest way of doing that is just putting some effects on some submasters and faders and playing them back manually. The desk has to be easy to program because I don't have long to do this, and what often speeds up programming is having a touchscreen, or maybe two, which is often handy, and the desk needs to be fairly affordable because this is a charity show. So with all of that said, I decided to choose the MA.2. So, here it is. It's very nice. I have been having a bit of a play with it. I'm soon going to start patching the show file for this actual show. But this is going to be my first time actually programming a whole show on an MA.2, and I am excited because it's a great desk, and it is easy to use. It's a crossover desk, which means it's great for cue listing and busking on top of that. It has two touch screens, backlit keyboard, you've got playback faders here as well as all your programming on this side, 4 rotary encoders which you can push down to get extra features and things. So yeah, I'll see how it performs tomorrow, but right now I'm going to start creating my show file, and then it'll make things really easily when I just get the desk in and I can start programming. I just need to check if I've had an email from the venue technician about DMX addresses and things of the fixtures. Okay guys, so I'm here and I'm programming. Those are the Mythos down there. We've got 6 on the floor, we've got 6 up on the rig. We've also got some old Robé wash moving heads. As you can see, it's a pretty nice venue. That's the venue's other desk in that flight case there, because I've brought this guy in. Yeah, I've got a pretty good view. I would like to be kind of in the middle of the auditorium for programming, but this will do fine. Just having a play with some gobos. at the moment. I might have a look at some of the rotating stuff. Okay, so fairly on in the morning, whilst people were warming up and that sort of thing, I was just creating presets, which are like position palettes and colour palettes, which I did the night before actually, and also some gobo palettes and that sort of thing, and they're called presets on MA.2, and doing that meant that it sped up programming later. So I'm just testing out some of these palettes I created. Those are the Mythos. As you can see, they're nice and fast. And on this fader we have the Glaciator, a Martin Gem Glaciator, which I might mention later. And this is a low-lying fog effect without using proper dry ice. And I'm having to play with the moving heads here, pointing them into the fog effect. Later on we did get that looking a bit nicer. Yes, as you can see, I'm now using my better camera and I'm pointing a gobo in it. It's not hugging to the floor at the moment, but it did later. One of the Robe wash lights has died already, so that's getting fixed. Meanwhile, I'm going to keep programming. I've already made a cue list the weekend before, so I'm going to start plotting some states that I wanted. So, in the morning people were kind of just rehearsing in some sort of random order and pace. I just programmed at my own speed according to the cue list I'd made previously, and when there was no one on stage and things, I took the opportunity to run a few cues, and I did busk some things, like some of the intensity, and this number here had quite a lot of lighting changes in it. It was quite an exciting song, and a snap cue at the end. I also did some more kind of subtle effects, and also some effects that were more lyrical and less jazzy and things, which worked well with some of the songs. Things like this strobe were requested by the choreographers for a battle scene, and this did look good in the actual performance. I think I might have got a bit of footage of this. Yeah, as you can see, the Mythos do quite a nice wash as well, and this part here, this looked good as well, and this was for the kind of end before the finale. And at the end of the dress rehearsal, I was still busy programming the finale. So let's have a look at some of the equipment we had. Even though I wasn't working on sound because I was the lighting designer, I'll show you some of the stuff they had. The sound desk was a Yamaha CL5 digital desk, which looked quite cool. And the main sound system was all D&B, and we seemed to have two rather large line arrays, each side of the stage, front of house, and then we also had some big subwoofers too, which did sound really cool. Even when I was right at the back of the auditorium, behind in a glass box, I could still feel the power of those subwoofers. Now lighting, we had 4 ETC colour source spots, which are really nice LED fixtures, good quality and nice and bright, and those were kind of just front of house. We had 6 Roby Wash 575 ATs, and we also had 6 of the Zoom version of those, and they were good. I think back in the day. Nowadays they were a bit kind of slow and not as bright, especially when you're comparing them to Paky Mythos, which are some of the best moving heads on the market. And yes, we had 12 Mythos, and those are hybrid lights, so there's a beam spot wash, and they had the new lamp in them, so they are Mythos 2s, some of the first in the UK to have been upgraded to Mythos 2s with a new Osram lamp and new dimming blades. The new lamp is good because it doesn't explode like the Philips one did, and I had great fun with the Mythos. Those were absolutely fantastic. I didn't have much of a generic rig above the stage, and much as I would have liked a bit of side lighting, we didn't due to time constraints, and the venue weren't massively keen on rigging that because, yeah, we were limited in time, and it might have also been a bit of a health and safety issue. The Mythos that were kind of on the floor, those were actually sat on top of flight cases with black covers over them to make them look neat, and those enabled me to do some cool effects rather than having everything hung from lighting bars. And we also had a load of ETC Source 4 senior zooms. I think they were senior zooms. Anyway, we had a load of ETC Source 4's front of house, providing a nice simple generic wash from the front, which is always useful so you can see people's faces. And obviously everything was controlled via the MA.2, which was a great little desk for the show. One thing I need to mention is, of course, the Martin Gem Glaciator, which is something that creates a low-lying fog effect without using dry ice, which is seen as a health and safety issue. It's a big black box thing with a couple of pipes coming out of it, and what was really useful is that was DMX controlled, so I popped that on a fader, and by the time of the actual performance we'd cooled it enough, set the condenser running for long enough for the fog to really stick to the floor and create a really nice low-lying fog effect, which was, yeah, that looked really good. And at this point I must thank a company called Ambersphere. They got this MA.2 for me to use for the show, and I'm really grateful because we were really restricted in budget as it was a charity show, and the director had gone and splashed out on the Glaciator, which did look fantastic. So thank you to Ambersphere for supporting this charity event and getting me a really cool desk to use for the show. And for those that are interested, the performance went really well. The director was really pleased with how everything went, and I was pleased with how everything went, and all the venue technicians were really helpful and kind and welcoming to me, so I must thank them as well. So this show was a really great experience for me to design and program and operate the show, and use some really cool kit and work with some great people. So thank you very much for watching. I really do hope you've enjoyed this video. These past few weeks have been a bit hectic for me, and so it's taken me a while to kind of get this together and make this video, but I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any comments or questions, then please let me know, and have a look at my Google Plus because I posted some photos on there. If you haven't subscribed already, then please do so. And goodbye, I'll see you in the next video.